and welcome to Vista Voices. I'm your host, Chris Vazano, along with Danny Lager. And today is a very special show because it's here again. The Vista Shared Stage production has begun starting auditions next week, as of next week. And we have Brittany Czajkowski, the Quality of Life Manager at Vista. And it's great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, you're welcome. And I have some questions for you, Brittany. So when someone walks into an audition for a show, are they expected to have sheet music with them?
So that's a good question. So for our auditions, you don't need to have sheet music, but if you could have a backing track without vocals for whatever song you choose to sing.
Right. And what is the process of choosing a show every year? How do you brainstorm and who has the final word?
Ooh, that is a good question. So it's not just one person, so it's a whole team of people that look at shows. But I will say probably the final say comes from the director. But we look at shows to make sure that there is a lot of different kinds of roles, whereas maybe someone who has been in acting for a longer time can play, but then maybe somebody who is just initially trying out and this is their first time, that they can also participate. So kind of a show that fits many different abilities, but also is a little funny. We like to do funny shows.
I could tell, yeah. So, Danny.
Yeah, Brittany, who was idea for shared stage productions for the wedding singers for Vista?
So whose idea was the wedding singer?
Yeah, for Vista.
For Vista, I would say it was probably a combination of myself, Neil, and Kira. So Neil really likes the show because it takes place in the 80s, and that's one of his favorite eras. And it's a show he has done before, so he feels confident that he can execute this well with our group.
So the second question is, how many cast members be in the shared stage production for wedding singers for Vista?
For Vista, can you say that one more time?
Cast members.
How many cast members?
Yeah, cast.
So that's a good question. I think we're looking for around 20 to 40. It really depends on how many people come out and who fits certain roles, because casting's about a lot of things, right?
Right, of course.
Because certain roles have a certain look to them or a certain, characteristics. But we're probably looking around 20 to 40 cast members.
And I have some questions from James Lynch. When are the Vista musicals decided after the last performance?
When? So that's a good question. So there's a whole approval process, if you didn't know. And so we have to apply for shows. So we actually apply for more shows than we do to see which ones we get. Sometimes you do get denied a show if this show is maybe performing on Broadway again, or if there is a show close to the area that you are doing the show, they will deny that show. So around probably June and July, we actually start applying for shows. And then there's probably like a 68-week time period where we're just waiting to hear if we get approved or not.
Great. And the final question is, how are the Vista musicals decided for each year?
Yeah, so it kind of depends on, kind of like what I said, what's available in our area as well. Cost can also be a factor. Some shows cost more to get the rights of than other shows. But mostly it's about what can our community do well and what kind of shows have multiple parts where we can have cast of all abilities participate in.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
So I have questions too.
Yes.
So how long are you working for Vista?
Ooh, yeah. So this October, I just finished 6 years at Vista, but I've been in the role kind of doing the plays only 5 years.
Wow.
How do you feel like being a quality of life manager?
How do I feel being the quality of life manager?
Yeah.
I think it's something so unique. So I believe that recreation, arts programming, wellness programming is really important part of having a quality of life or satisfaction of life. So I am excited that I get to bring a little joy every day to the students and members of Vista. Being able to support them in chasing their dreams or trying something new or participating in something they love. So I would say I get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
Yes, I can see that. It shines through your work here for all the years you've been here. And the shared stage production has become such a wonderful tradition at Vista. It's 12 years strong now, so we'll hope it keeps going.
Yes, for sure.
Well, thank you for being on the show, Brittany.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me,
You're
Chris and
welcome.
Danny.
That's all we have for Vista Voices today. Tune in for more episodes.
Hello everyone, welcome to Lynch's monthly Sports Jam, where today we are going to explore the college football playoff expansion for its coming into play after its existence started in the 2014 season. Now, it added more teams in the 2024 season when it increased to a 12-team format that had significant changes. This made it a lot different, featuring the sixth highest ranked conference champions getting automatic bids, while they made the top 4 seeds get first round buys, which is the top 4 power conferences. As from the last episode, the committee, instead of 2 parties in college, wanted to increase the playoff money and get more students and fans more interested, while it can also get teams and student athletes a better chance at winning a championship. The rest of the last 12 teams seeded from 5 to 12 have on-campus site games, with the higher seed hosting, obviously getting to the New Year's Six Bowls, which are part of the quarterfinals. To get further into it briefly, the next 7 highest ranked teams, based on what the committee believes, receive at-large bids, with no matter what conference those teams are in. Those quarterfinals will take place with one being on New Year's Day, while the other 3 are. Those quarterfinals will take place with one being on New Year's Eve, while the other 3 will take place on New Year's Day. Then after that, they play in the semifinals. That is also part of the New Year's Six Bowls, the Thursday and Friday after the New Year. It all ends with the national championship game. The following Monday is when the national championship game takes place, always on a neutral site with the same as the New Year's Six Bowls. The way I feel about it is they should do what is most likely going to happen in the coming years. Extend the playoffs to 14 teams, with most of the NCAA most likely adding it up to 16 teams for the future. The other thing is, listening to the experts talk about the field, more schools are going to want 1 to 2 home playoff games on their campuses, which I say is good. For those students during their winter break especially, because they're able to view games with their families while at the universities. This is so exciting for me, so thank you for joining me on Lynch's Monthly Sports Jam. We will see you next time.
Hello and welcome to Real Deal Reviews. I'm your host, Chris Vizano, and today I will be reviewing a Netflix movie I implore you all to see. The movie is called A House of Dynamite, and it stars Rebecca Ferguson as the Secretary of Defense working in the Situation Room of the White House, along with other greats like Jason Clarke and Idris Elba as the President of the United States. The plot is an unknown nuclear missile is launched and set to hit Chicago, and the death toll is projected to be around 300 million lives lost. What works so well in this movie is a sense of dread and impending doomsday scenario. Catherine Bigelow, the director, really understands this particular milieu and knows the details of every inner working of the White House and governmental jargon. There's never a dull moment in this thriller. It harkens back to movies like Crimson Tide and The Hunt for Red October, where it feels like a chess match with very high stakes. What's also greatly appreciated in this movie is how it just focuses on the present situation and how to solve it in real time. I highly recommend this movie to anyone interested in politics and the ramifications of nuclear war. I give the movie a 9.5 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.
Welcome to David's the dugout. Hi. Welcome to David's dugout. Hi. I am David Reese, and I am going to talk about this week's sports highlights. This week in college basketball, the UConn women's basketball team is still undefeated. Their record is 17-0. This week in NFL, New England Patriots will be playing at home. This week in NFL, New England Patriots will be playing in divisional NFL playoffs at home against Houston Texans on Sunday, January 18th at 3 o'clock p.m. This week in NBA, Boston Celtics lost to Indiana Pacers 96-98 on Monday, January 12th. It was a close game. My favorite game of the week is Boston. My favorite game of the week is Boston Bruins playing at home against Seattle Kraken on Thursday on January 15th at 8 o'clock p.m. The game I am looking forward to next is NFL divisional playoff games this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. See you next time at the dugout.
Hi, I'm your host, Junior Lager. This is Dennis Football Facts. Los Angeles Rams has won the wild card round game with Carolina Panthers. The next playoff game is the divisional round with Chicago Bears and Soldier Field at Chicago, Illinois on Sunday, January 18, 2026. Los Angeles Rams will dominate Chicago Bears easily because Chicago Bears defense is their weakness. They are good at catching up the second half of the game. Also, the hardest for Chicago Bears is Los Angeles Rams offense because Chicago Bears were not strong enough for Los Angeles Rams defense. So Chicago Bears will not catch up the second half of the game with the Los Angeles Rams for the whole second half of the game at all. Check out more about Los Angeles Rams next time. See you later.